If you're praying for it, a version of you already has it. If you're praying for it, a version of you already has it. Why? Let's look at this verse. And seek help through patience and prayer. And indeed, it is difficult except for the humbly submissive to Allah. If you are praying, it's because Allah already gave you what you're praying for. People who are not humble don't pray. You are humble, so you pray. It means that Allah has invited you to have a conversation with Him. Direct conversation, that's what prayer is. It's a direct conversation. Not everyone is invited to prayer. You have to think of it like that. Not everyone is invited to prayer. You can think of the people you know. Do all of them pray? I'm not talking about salah. I'm talking about just praying and talking to God. Prayer is for the humble. Prayer is for the humble. And not everyone makes prayer. So if Allah has invited you to pray, it means He's going to give you what you're praying for. No need to worry. Okay? I'm going to tell you what your part is. So most of life is lived between wanting and having. Wanting and having. You wanted relief from whatever you're doing, so you scroll to social media and now you have relief through, I guess, a dopamine hit. You wanted relief when you were thirsty, so you drank and then you had that relief. Life is lived here, wanting and having, wanting and having. So you need prayer as your anchor. So when Allah invites you to prayer, first things first, before you even worried about your prayer being answered, celebrate. Do a little dance in gratitude to Allah and thank Him, like, hey, ya Allah, you want to have a talk with me? Because some people, when they get hit with calamity, guess what they do? They run to everything else but Allah. So for them, they are carrying the world, but for you, Allah wants to carry it for you. So He has inspired you to dua. Now, this is the process of dua, at least the way I understand it. May Allah forgive me for any flaws within this explanation. So this is the world of the unseen, right? And then it becomes seen. First of all, belief in the unseen is very important. Actually, it's not just important, it's necessary. If you're a believer, you need to believe in the unseen. That's where everything is, by the way. Like the infinite possibilities, they're over there. So when you pray for something, let me give you an example. When I prayed, when I was in certification trying to be a coach, I was making a dua. But it's because the version of me, a future version of me, already had it. That's why she was praying. When I was praying to graduate college, when it was so, yeah, a part of me already had it. So the reason why I want to emphasize that if you're praying for something, you already have it, is because so many people are worried about my dua. I see so many posts about people talking about how to get my dua answered, all of that. Prayer and patience go together. Allah already told you. Seek help through patience and prayer. Once you pray, now you enter patience. Now start to see your prayer as a seed, right? This is the seed. This is it trying to get its roots. As you're watering it, you're becoming the woman in your dua. And then after, when it blooms, when Allah gives it to you. So most of us are here. You've planted a dua, you've talked to Allah, and you haven't got your answer yet. Now here, you're nurturing the dua. This is the most important part. Aligned action. You have to take action that aligns with what you prayed for. If you prayed for more money, but your time does not reflect that means you're not in alignment. So your dua is answered, but it takes long to reach you because you are not in the path of receiving it. You are away. You may be distracted, binge watching something. You have to take aligned action. You have to become the woman in your dua. I was praying to become a coach, I had to take aligned action by taking the classes and all the trainings I had to do. Then I become. You have to become the person in your dua by investing time, energy, and resources, whatever resources you have. And then the death of identity, because when you're going into dua, you're telling Allah like you want something that you are not yet. To have that thing, you have to become the person who has the thing, right? Like I said, you have to take aligned action. Death of identity is basically choosing differently than you would have chosen. If you usually scroll for 3 hours, maybe you try 1 hour instead. What you need to do now, because Allah already told you and you've done the first part, right? Seek patience through prayer and patience. You've done the prayer part. Good job. Shout out to you. Now the patience part. This one is the hardest one. Surat al-Mustaqim is lived on this patience, just being patient and trusting, and trusting that even though you do not see the roots that they are growing, that Allah is answering your dua. It is going to be answered. You are here. It's going to be answered. You just have to maintain patience, maintain the things you've been doing, gratitude. Act like the prayer has already been answered, is what I say. Gratitude, constant gratitude. I've already given you that here. Gratitude is through action. Remember how you spend your time. Gratitude is through your senses, your eyes. What are you looking at? Isn't it not in alignment with what you want? What are you listening to? Where are you walking to? What are you eating? That's all gratitude. Then surrender. Listen to the Quran and remind yourself of Allah while you wait. Allah's names. Anchor yourself onto that while you wait. Go to the messengers of Allah, peace be upon them. They were all tested, and look at the du'as they made. If you're in a similar situation, pick out those du'as and say those same du'as that the prophets made. You and the prophets, peace be upon them, have the same God. You never forget that, okay? You have the same God. And then your life story is also full of times where Allah already answered your prayer. So reflect on that and surrender to that. And then the final surrender is others. Like, look at the lives of others and see how people talk about God, like other Muslims. If they're talking about how Allah has come through for them, that is your sign that He is going to come through for you. But the proof is already here. Allah has already told you, patience, prayer. That's it. If you are praying, you already have it. Do you know that people handle things themselves? But you're humble. You know this world, you have no business dealing with it. When you're burdened, you take everything to Allah, like, Allah, deal with this. Please help me. For the one who's not humble, they're probably arrogant and, proud. So they don't go to Allah. They don't think He can handle their problems. They go to creation. I bet they end up disappointed. But that's them. And you are different. You who's called into prayer is called into conversation with Allah. Allah wants to create a relationship with you. So yeah, I hope this answered your question. Actually, there was no question about this. I just wanted to explain what dua is, with the intention of speaking with someone who is struggling with surrendering after they pray. After you pray, assume the prayer has already been answered, or you're going to get even better than what you prayed for. Because remember, most times Allah gives us what we need, not what we want. Remember, your prayer is about what you want, but Allah will give you what you need. That's why you have to trust whatever outcome comes, because Allah is the best of planners. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it was. Assalamu alaikum.